Namaskar, hello and welcome hardworking people. Well, today we are going to discuss about something which you can take as an allegation or something which was properly planned. Well, after the ouster of Sheikh Hasina from Bangladesh, we see that their GDP growth rate has fallen from 6% to mere 2 to 3% today, and the inflation is at around 12%, which was around 5% when Sheikh Hasina was there. Sheikh Hasina, she is where? She is in India, because when on 5th August 2024 she came to know about the attack which was going to be on her, might be it was planned to kill her, she arranged for an training aircraft of Bangladesh Air Force and planned to land in Kolkata. But she did not land in Kolkata, rather she landed at Hindon Air Base in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. Well, that is something you must have known by now, but today what we are going to discuss is an allegation or a truth. That you decide. We are just going to keep the facts over here, and the allegation here is that within Bangladesh's Awami League, US deep state was responsible for the downfall of Sheikh Hasina's government. But before we begin, if you want the PDF of these classes for free, you can join the Telegram channel, official Telegram channel of Shikara Academy. And also, if you have any question for any of our educator, you can call on these numbers and ask us that question. And if you are preparing for any examination, for that also we have proper courses launched, so for that also you can inquire, especially for UPSC and TGPSC. Well, what about these claims that we are talking about? So when we talk about the senior party sources, at least three ministers, Salman F. Rahman, who was private investment and industry advisor, Anisul Haq, who was law minister, and Muhammad Arafat, minister of state for information, were allegedly compromised and guided to act against the government's interest during the critical weeks before the collapse in August 2024. And the all alleged compromised ministers, let's see them one by one. So number one, let's see Salman F. Rahman, was also known as the gatekeeper. So he was nicknamed as the Darbesh, allegedly became a critical vulnerability in Hasina's inner circle. Sources claim he effectively cut off league from direct access to Hasina and maintained regular contact with US State Department officials since at least 2023. Now, during Hasina's April-May 2023 to Japan and the US, Rahman stayed separately at Washington's St. Regis Hotel, where he allegedly met privately with former US Ambassador Marcia Barniket. And following this meeting, a planned pro-government media platform project was abruptly scrapped. Now, this is something which puts a question mark on Mr. Rahman. Next is Muhammad Arafat, the provocator. Arafat's role became particularly damaging during the July-August 2024 student protest. Sources allege that he televised remarks stating that government had plenty of bullets to crush demonstrations was a deliberate provocation. When the students are angry and they are protesting for their rights, the government must listen. Rather than on students, you're talking of firing bullets. That's really something which should not come from a politician of that stature. His current whereabouts remain unknown, with Awami League insiders believing he may have fled abroad using Western contacts. There was this arrest. Both Rahman and Haq were mysteriously arrested from Dhaka's Sardar Ghat on August 13, 2024, just 8 days after Hasina's resignation. Now next, the 6-point US agenda. This is something, let's see what it was. So by September 2023, during what would be her final US visit as Prime Minister, Hasina reportedly recognized monitoring of the US pressures, he identified 6 specific demands that Washington was pushing. What were these demands? Let's see. Number 1, joining the Quad. So the security alliance comprising the US, Japan, Australia and India. Bangladesh was also pushed to join it against China. Signing of this GSOMIA and ACSA defense agreement for intelligence sharing and military logistics. This is also something which was planned against China. Granting US companies access to 26 oil and gas blocks, that is for the economic purpose. Alignment on Myanmar policy under the US-Burma Act, again for the strategic purpose against China. Strategic cooperation in the Indo-Pacific and reduced reliance on China. Okay, so Bangladesh had consistently avoided signing these defense agreements, and when the foreign minister A.K. Abdul Momen stated in August 2023 that there was no possibility of signing this with the US before Bangladesh's general elections. So what happens after that? There is one more controversy, this is related here, that is the Saint Martin's Island. What is this Saint Martin's Island and why there is this interest of US here? So Bangladesh is only coral island strategically located in the Bay of Bengal, just 8 kilometers from Myanmar. Hasina had previously claimed that a white man offered her smooth re-election in exchange for allowing a military base on this island. Now you must be curious why they want it. Well, they want it because it is very near to the borders of China and US can keep an eye on China from here. The US State Department has consistently though denied this allegation, with spokesperson Matthew Miller describing them as not accurate and no discussion on taking over the island had taken place. However, these denials have done little to quell suspicion among Awami League officials. Okay. Next, when we see the student movement and the internal paralysis, so what began as student protest against government job quotas evolved into a nationwide movement demanding Hasina's resignation. This started in July-August 2024. The protest, dubbed the Monsoon Revolution by some, resulted in over 300 deaths according to local media reports. And mind you, this death toll rised a lot when it happened, when they attacked over Sheikh Hasina. It was more than thousands who died. Several key movements that sealed Hasina's fate. August 3 security meeting. Army Chief General Walker Uz Zaman allegedly told the Home Minister, "Do not worry, the army will take over." Hasina refrained from dismissing him despite advisors' concern. Then the cancelled counter rally plans for a massive Awami League rally with up to 500,000 supporters were suddenly cancelled under pressure from Salman F. Rahman and Hasina's sister Sheikh Rehana. Leaders were instructed to avoid bloodshed. And final isolation by August 5, facing the combined strength of students, BNP activists, Jamaat-e-Islami and Islami Chhatra Shivir on the streets, Hasina resigned and fled to India. So this is the three key movements that you can say decided the fate of Bangladesh as well as the fate of Sheikh Hasina. And this year what you are seeing is something which should not happen in a democracy, but that is a black spot that happened in Bangladesh. Well, the China factor and regional dynamics, if we talk about, so Hasina's July 2024 visit to China, which ended abruptly a day earlier than scheduled, is now viewed as a strategic blunder. Why? Because of two reasons here. One, India was also quite unsettled with this visit because traditionally Bangladesh closest ally and compounded Hasina's isolation. But two, there was another problem also. The timing was particularly problematic given mounting US pressure and India's concern about Chinese influence in South Asia. So there were these two things, okay, which were of concern to Sheikh Hasina, and it is believed that because of that, she ended the China's visit one day earlier. Now, during this visit, Bangladesh and China elevated their relationship to a comprehensive strategic cooperation, and China became Bangladesh's largest trading partner, and major infrastructure projects like the Padma Bridge rail link and the Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman tunnel, these were also completed under the Belt and Road Initiative. But was that a blunder of Sheikh Hasina? What do you think? Comment and the role of key US officials. So Peter Haas, the controversial ambassador, he is said to be a central figure in this allegation. Sources repeatedly named him alongside Assistant Secretary of State Donald Lu and a former ambassador Marcia Bernicard as maintaining regular contact with the allegedly compromised ministers. Now, Donald Lu's regional influence was also thought to be there. He has been described as a hated figure in India due to alleged interference attempts in regional democratic processes. His May 2024 visit to Bangladesh focused on climate and cooperation, but it meant more than that, which is visible now. Now, the timeline of alleged operations, if you see, so the long-term planning of 2018 to 2023, Awami League functionaries claim the regime change operation began as early as of 2018 following Bangladesh's disputed election, but accelerated from 2023 onward. Okay, and an Indian intelligence assessment in mid-2022 reportedly warned that Haas was part of a broader plan to bring down Hasina's government. Now, May 2023, US imposed visa restriction on Bangladeshi individuals, including Awami League members. September 2023, Hasina recognized the 6-point US pressure. January 2024, controversial election with only 28% turnout. May 2024, US sanction on former Army Chief General Aziz Ahmad for corruption. July 2024, student protest began. Hasina's China's visit occurs. And August 5, 2024, Hasina resigns and flees to India. And this is what you are seeing. It was said to be the father of Bangladesh, but according to politicians and according to the students movement, he should not be there as a statue. And then aftermath and the new leadership, you have Muhammad Yunus who took the charge. He is a Nobel Peace Prize winner and was installed as a head of the interim government at the request of student protest leaders. The 84-year-old economist, who was known as the banker to the poor for his microfinance work, was shown on August 8, 2024. Yunus had previously faced legal challenges under Hasina's government, with some viewing his appointment as symbolic of the regime change. His interim government include 2 student protest leaders and aim to hold elections within a few months. Okay, now continued instability is there. The interim government has faced significant challenges like attacks on minorities, particularly Hindus, and the Ahmadiyya communities, political reprisals against the perceived Awami League supporters. And in May 2025, the interim government banned all Awami League political activities under the Anti-Terrorism Act. Now let's see the critical assessment and the broader context. The allegation must be viewed within the broader context of US-China strategic competition in South Asia. Bangladesh's strategic location and growing economic ties with China made it crucial, and the US Indo-Pacific strategy and Quad formation has intensified this competition. So here if you see in the map, you can see that very clearly Bangladesh is strategically very close to China, and if by in any way US can get Bangladesh also to join the Quad, and also if US can make any platform of its own to keep an eye on China, that will be very beneficial for US to repress China or to have a constant look over China. Now let's see the domestic factors. So while external pressures may have played a role, domestic factors were equally significant. Authoritarian governance, Hasina's 15-year rule was increasingly marked by suppression of opposition and civil liberties. This is also a fact which you should take into the consideration. Economic grievances, youth unemployment and corruptions fueled popular discontent, and institutional capture like the Awami League had effectively captured key institutions including the Judiciary, Election Commission and media. So these are the domestic factors which are equally, or you can say more responsible than the external factors that we have already discussed. So the allegations, I am again repeating it, it's the allegations of US deep state involvement in Sheikh Hasina's downfall present a complex narrative of geopolitical maneuvering. Well, what do you think actually? This really matters because I have tried to put some facts here. All of these are researched, but it will only be something when you comment on this and when you decide that what exactly would have happened. And nonetheless, what do you think? Is this good for the Bangladesh's people, for the Bangladesh's citizen, and for the Bangladesh's future. Well, we in India would always want a stable, progressing and growing Bangladesh that will always be good for India as well as for Bangladesh. But before you go, if you're preparing for UPSC, TSPSC or APPSC, well, you can join one-on-one live mentorship by Deepika ma'am, who is having 20 plus years of experience and who has guided almost hundreds of aspirants into administrative services. So you can call on the numbers given below. There were few questions also. So if you are an aspirant preparing for examination, you can see those questions by pausing the video. And also, if you want the free PDF of these classes, I repeat, join our Telegram channel for free and you will get the PDFs also for free. Okay, so we'll meet again. Till then, you take care of yourself and keep working hard. So today or tomorrow, you will be successful. Thank you. Namaskar.